Okay, so this video is going to be looking at how 2D and 3D scanners work. A 2D scanner normally is where you put like a document, which is like, you can have a letter, or let's say an old school photo like you have there, or I got a contract to, for next year at school, but I want to keep a digital copy so I don't lose it. I can put my contract in the scanner scans it, turns it into a Word document, and I have it on my computer. A 3D scanner is able to take an object, take photos of it from all dimensions, and scan it into a computer. This is used in movies, this is used in video game design. So if you've got like a character you make it first, and you can put it into the game, special effects, all sorts of things. It could be used on websites where you have a picture of an item and you want to rotate the item and see all angles of it. Let's imagine like a shop, and you want to see like a, I don't know, a kitchen appliance. You can rotate it, but you take photos of it using a 3D scanner first. This is a tiny 3D scanner, what we see here. So you've got a 3D scanner, you've got a 2D scanner. Both of these are input devices. What we're going to look at is how they both work. So let's go through the journey of how this 2D scanner works. Step one, we put the document onto this glass plate. So this is the glass plate here. We put like a contract or a photo onto that glass plate. Then what happens is when we start the scan, so we can say we want to begin, so I hit the start button, we often then get a light source, a bright light which happens underneath. So it like lights up, and this light source goes backwards and forwards over the document, and it's powered by an LED lamp. So it's light source powered by an LED lamp, and it moves up and down on the document, making sure it lights up all of it over a certain period of time. We then have a reflection. The reflection is based from the mirror, and it reflects off the surface the different colors and the different intensities of light. So it goes light, document to a mirror. Then what happens is it passes it on to this fixed mirror. This fixed mirror's job is to pass it to this CCD. So the fixed mirror just sits there the whole time, doesn't move, it just passes on whatever's been captured by the mirror here, the movable mirror. So remember, let's imagine it's a document and it's got my signature here, and let's imagine it's got the Dear Miss 11 here, and it's got the contract details in here. It would scan the signature at this stage. You can see it's going here, the light hits the signature, which reflects to the mirror. The mirror then passes on the signature, so it'll be the actual signature, which will be like this. That's my signature, by the way. Pass to the fixed mirror, which will then go to the CCD. The CCD has sensors. So we're going to do photo sensitive sensors, which detects and captures the image based on incoming light. So it catches the incoming light. The CCD also will be able to filter out the colors, so it'll be able to determine what colors are being used using RGB, red, green and blue. So remember, most colors are combinations of that, just different levels of red, different levels of green, different levels of blue. It then takes all of this information, the colors and the different the different incoming lights, combines it all together, and then transfers it into the scanner's CPU. So it goes to the scanner's CPU, which takes the electric signal and turns it into digital, so that we can actually then edit the image on our computer. So it turns it from electric to digital in the CPU. So just to go over this again, these are simple steps that you need to be aware of. Document to be scanned is placed on the glass plate. This glass plate is often transparent. What happens next is that you have you turn it on, the movable light, which is normally an LED light, will illuminate part of a document. It will then reflect onto a movable mirror. The movable mirror, its job is to catch the light and then redirect it to a fixed mirror. The fixed mirror's job is at an angle, so it points towards the CCD. So the CCD has photosensitive sensors that detects the incoming light. So it detects, these sensors detect the light and capture the incoming light, as well as being able to understand what colors are being used in the image using RGB detection. It's then going to pass the electric signals to the scanner's CPU. The scanner's CPU is going to turn it into a digital signal, and then it's going to be put into the computer. So it's always, remember, digital the end. The digital signal is always at the end for any device. This will allow us to then edit the image or print it out or whatever, or edit the contract, whatever it's going to be. And that is a 2D scanner. So 3D scanners work slightly different, where you put an object here and prepared for it to be scanned. So we call this the scanning field. I'm just going to add that here, scanning field. Now the projector, which is this here, will basically put light over the scanning field and outside of it as well. And that light will be a pattern. So the projector will use pattern light, which will be basically like a grid. So the projector will have a grid of light, I'm going to erase this in a second, over the scanning field and just around it as well. Now, as the projector's light hits the object, so it's going to obviously break up the beams, this grid. That basically will allow us to detect the shape of the item being scanned. And it's these cameras which do that job. So camera 1 will basically, from a certain angle, capture this deformed light where the object is. So imagine I have that dinosaur here. This is the dinosaur. I placed it in here. You've got the projector light. It's been deformed because of the dinosaur, and this camera 1 will detect the precise moment or the precise area the pattern is deformed or is broken, as will the camera 2. So camera 1 and camera 2 will do the same job, and what will happen is, by using camera 1 and camera 2, we're able to do a triangulation in terms of where exactly, so I'm going to change it, the breakage has happened. So at this point here, let's imagine. So the projector has its light, which scans over everything as a grid, but the moment it hits an object, camera 1 and camera 2 is able to detect where that breakage in the grid has happened. This is a camera, this is a camera, just there. And what will happen is both cameras will send images to the computer. And it's there to detect and analyze how it's been distorted. So in order to get this whole object, there's lots of distortions taking place in this grid. It's not just one, it'll be several. It'll get the shape of the little dinosaur thing. And what will happen is it'll be using specialized software. And this is absolutely vital you mention this. It uses specialized 3D scanning software. And that will do calculations based on the data. So it'll do calculations based on data given to it through the cameras. And it will basically start creating the object that's been scanned on the screen. So it'll start creating the dinosaur. This is a really badly drawn dinosaur as software. So hold on, let me just show you. So this software here allows us to take the image which has been scanned in. It then allows us to rotate it, seen from different angles. So it's a 3D image which has been scanned in from our 3D scanner. This is, I think, the bottom of a car seat. We're constructing a car seat in this little demonstration. But again, it just allows us to do rotation, see it from different perspectives, etc. So overall, the key points that you need to be aware of is the projector, the cameras, the scanning field, the light projected from the projector, which will be a grid pattern. When it's distorted, camera 1 and camera 2 will pick that up. It will then basically detect, it will analyze how it's been distorted, the light beams. It will then send it to specialized 3D scanning software. It'll do calculations, this software, to basically take all the information from the cameras to then put it back together of what the image should look like. And that is a 3D scanner.